Journos are always looking for that sort of person who trashes America and they put them on a pedestal.
Yep. Yeah.
All the guardrails for normalcy and patriotism and believing in this country are gone. And now, essentially, you're just congratulated for how far deviant and anti-American you can become. That's pretty much how the Democrats choose their candidates these days.
For years, the big health insurance companies have been raising the price of insurance, denying care and delaying treatments, while making record profits and receiving trillions of America's tax dollars through federal programs. When they get asked why health insurance prices keep skyrocketing, the big insurance companies dodge, distract, and blame everyone else. But the American public isn't buying it. Recent national polling shows that voters are concerned about affordability and, most importantly, want Congress to prioritize lowering the cost of health insurance. That's why Congress recently grilled the CEOs of the big health insurance companies to answer questions. After years of denying responsibility and pointing fingers everywhere but at themselves, the big insurance bosses are finally being asked to answer for skyrocketing premiums while they make record profits. It's an important first step, but Americans are demanding action and accountability, not more excuses and denials from big health insurance companies. Learn more at americansforopengovernment.com.
President Trump called for American energy dominance. Congress can deliver it by allowing year-round E15. E15 lowers prices at the pump, strengthens rural economies, and puts more money in the pockets of farm families. But political gridlock is limiting E15's potential. Farmers, fuel retailers, and consumers want certainty. They need permanent year-round E15. Let's make America energy secure. Let's make rural America stronger. Congress, let's make year-round E15 permanent.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention, please. Keep the faith, hold the line, and own the libs. It's time for our main event.
Good Tuesday to you. Welcome back to the Ruthless Friday program. I'm Josh Holmes, along with Comfortably Smug, Michael, Duncan, and John Ashbrook, left to right across your radio dial. As always, listen, football season dead and gone. Super Bowl, we have it. I'm wearing all kinds of baggage with the Sam Darnold, former Viking, now winning the Super Bowl. Off season's going to be good for me. I just got to repackage a lot of emotions. But one of the things that has captivated my sports interest is the Olympics. I love the Olympics. How do you fellas like the Olympics?
I don't this year.
Ooh.
I oppose the Olympics. I oppose the U.S. Olympic team.
No, come on. That's outrageous.
I'm rooting for them to do extremely bad.
That's outrageous.
Nope. And we'll get into why.
Who are you rooting for? The Italians?
Honestly, anybody but the U.S. It seems like every country except for the United States sends people who love their country.
Smug.
We know who Smug likes.
Pro Italy. That's something. I didn't see that coming.
We're going to get into it, but I'm sure for so many of our listeners and viewers, you could understand my frustration with the U.S. Olympic team.
Oh, no doubt.
And it's basically every day. For them, the Olympics is not an athletic competition where you are representing the country which you love and are grateful for the opportunity and the honor of representing your country. The real Olympics is just like, how many things can I say trashing America? And I'm sick of it.
Well, I don't care for it either, but I love the Olympics.
Yeah, I do too. And the journos are always looking for that sort of person who trashes America and they put them on a pedestal.
Yep.
I just choose not to watch that because I'm more interested in the athletes that are trying to win and not talking about anything other than how glad they are that they're able to compete.
And so that's the thing is, I think for the longest time, we've tried that approach of like, oh, don't let a few rotten apples. I now believe in group punishment. All of them. I don't support anyone on Team USA until they internally pressure themselves. Hey, you have the honor of representing the United States. Cut that shit out. Until they do the work of pressuring each other, I'm not going to support any of them. And here's the thing. Speaking about your friends, the journos.
Yeah.
Why is it that they're only out there asking Team USA, so tell us about why America sucks?
Because they're nerds and they don't care about sports.
But why?
And they like to project their liberal pathologies onto athletes.
Notice you never see anyone from Team China being asked, so about Tiananmen Square, and you guys ran kids over with tanks.
Yeah. How about those Uyghurs? How they doing?
Yeah.
A heftier price to pay for that kind of journalistic ingenuity.
And that's the thing is,
Also,
And
I
these-
haven't seen a whole lot of interest in Team China in the Winter Olympics.
They have a large team out there, but there's a huge.
haven't seen them on the podium.
There's kind of I don't care whether they win or not. What I'm saying is that your journal buddies and the Team USA athletes are very motivated to attack America at every opportunity, and they never have any attempt to ask any other country, hey, what about your geopolitical, situation? What about you guys unleashing COVID on the world? Or what about you guys, as Duncan mentioned, running these Uyghur concentration camps? They never get any questions about that. But we have these idiots on Team USA who are very willing to come out and trash the country on the world stage. They should be held accountable. All of Team USA should be held accountable. That's why I'm boycotting them.
Well,
That's got nothing to do with
it. It is a fair point, and I feel like the left-wing view is overrepresented in sports journalism. I saw a headline about Colin Kaepernick.
Oh my
ahead of
gosh, this
head
guy
of the
killed
Super
Gore
Bowl.
at the Washington Post.
Yeah.
Apparently, the one guy they didn't fire at the Washington Post.
There's a few that are still left. There's a bunch of that are left.
He
honestly.
decided to show up at Super Bowl week, and he says right in the top of his story, the most important figure of this year's Super Bowl is not in attendance. It's Colin Kaepernick.
The most?
Wild.
Yeah, oh, yeah, no, this is
that
his
was
words.
his lead.
A quarterback from 10 years ago?
Yeah, 100%.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
Dude, you can't.
And
make
then
it up.
and then he proceeds to bother all the athletes and whatnot.
This
at
is
the
what I'm
Super
talking
Bowl.
about. The
But
projecting of their liberal pathologies onto the rest of the ecosystem.
there's even a quote or two in there that kind of gives up the game a little bit, where he'll ask somebody about Colin Kaepernick, and they're like, "What? Whoa, yeah, wow, that's a name I haven't heard in a long time."
The funny thing is, for a lot of players currently in the NFL, they're not old enough to remember Colin Kaepernick. They're
No,
like,
I know.
dude, that's a decade old. Who are you talking about?
Like, bro, I was in middle school. What are
Yeah.
you talking about?
But the journalism component, the journalism component to what it is that we're talking about with the Olympics should not be ignored, because I think you're right. I mean, there's nobody else would do this or attempt to get people representing your country to undermine their own country while they're abroad competing. But the American media does it. For all of the things that Smug is frustrated about, I want to give you a couple of examples. Clip 5.
Yeah, it's been a hard time for the community overall under this administration. It
What?
isn't the first time that we've had to come together as a community and try and fight for our human rights. And now, especially, it's not just affecting the queer community, but many other communities. And I think that we are able to support each other in a way that we didn't have to before, and because of that, it's made us a lot stronger. I hope I can use my platform and my voice throughout these games to try and encourage people to stay strong in these hard times.
We should let men back into women's sports.
Duncan has a good argument for this.
I mean, because this is the thing. You try to help liberal women, and all they do is resent you for it.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. So I did a little research on this Amber Glenn. She's pansexual.
What is that?
Well, I saw that one of the prelims to qualify for the Olympics that she won, she draped herself in that trans flag.
Right. You thought bisexual was greedy.
What is pan?
Pansexual is literally everyone.
Really?
Yeah,
It's all comers.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
All comers.
Wait.
Pansexual.
Even
What
pots
what
and
does that
pans.
include that bi does not?
Well, see, this is the thing. I assume it's something you get yes-anded into at a pride rally. You show up and you're like, I'm bisexual. And then people are like, well, what about the transgender community? Are you attracted to them? And they're like, oh, well, yeah, that too. Non-binary.
And then you become pan?
I'm pansexual. I might wake up on Tuesday and like girls, or I might wake up on Wednesday like boys, or maybe I'm into transgender people on Thursday. Yeah, dude. Wild.
She's also the one that I saw where she said her hobby was Magic the Gathering.
Oh,
Oh.
you're kidding.
Yeah.
So she's a nerd on top of it.
Yeah, so there's a bunch of
Didn't
stuff.
see that.
What is
coming.
exactly the discrimination that the LGBTQ community is experiencing under the Trump?
I'll tell you, buddy. I will
Scott
tell you.
Bessent is the Treasury Secretary. He's
Nope.
gay.
Nope.
Right.
I will tell you very clearly. Gavin Newsom has had a hard time rising up as a candidate among Democrats, and I think very, very clearly that is who she's sticking up for. She's worried about him. Okay, she's
Are you
worried that he's not
alleging-
going to get
are
the
you
nomination.
Are you making allegations?
Well,
on
I mean, many people are saying, the whole mayor of San Francisco thing. Some
mean-
people have mentioned that.
Treasury Secretary has mentioned that here, right here in the program. Interesting. Well, that's an interesting take.
I think that's who she's sticking up for.
You've got Scott Bessent.
Is he who takes all comers? I've not seen
Gavin?
that. Yeah.
I don't know.
That's a new allegation. Well, Smash surfaced it, so we might as well discuss it.
I've heard nothing of that.
I haven't either, but he's...
Well, listen, this is the world stage, and, Democrats often do things in secret, as we know.
We do know that.
Okay.
There's a loophole.
And they're worried about his ability to get the nomination, so they're sticking up for him.
Okay. Well, there's more. Clip 6.
It brings up mixed emotions to represent the U.S. right now, I think.
Really?
It's a little hard. There's obviously a lot going
Look at
on
the
that
dude in
I'm
the
not the
stash
biggest
next to
fan
him.
of. And
It's
I
like
think
George
a lot of
Harrison.
people
George
are.
Harrison's
if
not-
it aligns with
He's
my
like, oh,
moral
boy, even
values,
though I'm gonna be in this
I
shot.
feel like I'm representing it. Just because I'm wearing the flag doesn't mean I represent everything that's going on in the U.S. So yeah, I just kind of want to do it for my friends and my family and the people that support me getting here.
You kind of want to
That's the thing. Did you hear, hearing that is what did it for me. When he said, I'm doing this for my friends
No, I
and
got
my
super
family.
mad at that, too.
And so if he's going to exhibit that level of selfishness, it's time to punish the entire Olympic team. I'm boycotting anything to do. I was like,
Well done. We got hockey coming up.
No. Normally, when there's like an Olympics, it's like, oh, you want to support Team USA and remember things like the Miracle on Ice and like Polo puts out these like sweaters with the American flag. and the
Eruzione
Olympic-
jumped ugly. The miracle. Speaking of Miracle on Ice,
Yeah.
Eruzione jumped ugly.
But like,
on that.
you'll get, there's all this like Team USA merch. I'm buying none of that. I was gonna get this nice, like a nice little Olympic sweater that has the USA flag because you're proud of the United States. I want nothing to do with that team.
Gonna punish your
of
country.
commies and these trash bag people who, again, unless you punish all of them, there's going to be no change whatsoever.
Okay,
you can't
but
be like, oh, I don't like that one communist and that other communist, but I'm going to stand and I'm going to cheer for... No, until collectively they start pressuring each other to have some respect for the country whose flag they are competing under. Have some respect. That's like the basics. Like, why do you have to be asked to have respect for the country that has sent you and who has provided the opportunity for your entire career and everything? If you go up there and you're like, no, this is from my friends and family who got me here, kick him off the team, deport his ass, send him to China, compete for China, friend.
Well, some of them do that. So there's an American-born guy, an athlete by the name of Gus Kenworthy, who decided he is competing for Great Britain. Graphic 3, if you don't mind tossing this up. This is a depiction that he put out on his social media account of him peeing fuck ice.
That's got to be like a Photoshop. Nobody's got that sort of stream control.
Right. I mean, there's a pattern there outside of the deep, but this is what this guy has done. So, like, look. Here's this.
I'm really rooting for that guy to get hurt.
I'm
rooting for injuries.
Come on.
Rooting for injuries is what I am doing for those folks. Fly off the side of the mountain.
Jeez. But this is what, like that one in particular, and I'm with you in that it really irritates me because I'm all in on the Olympics. I still all in. Like if you can put an American flag on your back, I don't care what the event is.
Me too.
I'm going to root for it no matter what. And it's disheartening. It takes a little piece out of you every time you see somebody go do that. So I thought a lot about this over the weekend because these clips surfaced and, there's just not a lot of athletes that are out there talking about the importance of America. It's America's 250th birthday, for crying out loud. Like that's what you should be talking about in the context of press conferences, what it means to represent your country.
Hey, look, the Kachuk brothers love America.
Well, and there's many athletes that do, but I guess
they're not acting as enforcers in that little Olympic village. So they deserve to have collective punishment. Collective punishment has worked a lot throughout history.
You know what I think what I've come to? I think is coaching. There's a huge component of many disciplines in U.S. Olympics where the coaching in and of itself is not from the United States at all, right? I mean, we saw skiers on the mountain where they're dealing with like Swedish coaches or Norwegian coaches. Everything is about the individual athlete and how they can individually participate. It's not about the country, which reminded me of John Wooden used to make his team every year practice the national anthem. Bud Grant used to line people up on day one of the football season to practice how they stood during the national. There was an element of leadership that came along with being a coach of American athletes when they go abroad to make them understand how unique this opportunity is and how unique the country is that has provided it. I think that is missing entirely. When you have, there's a number of athletes here that probably vehemently disagree with the statements that we've just played. The fact that nobody feels compelled to say, shut the fuck up, and we're here representing our kind, I don't care what your political beliefs are, tells me that there's a top-down problem that doesn't, it's not just the ski coach, it's not the snowboarding coach, it's a top-down problem with Team USA, and that nobody has communicated articulately to a whole group of young and impressionable, obvious go-getters, or they wouldn't be there in the first place, just how unique their opportunity is and how incredible their country is at providing it. And that saddens me deeply, because I think that's what it is. I don't think that there's just a bunch of left-wing psychopaths who've decided to be athletes. I think that there is some kind of an influence at some level about a neglect for pointing to that flag first. Understand who it is that you're playing for before you start talking about your individual accolades, right? It's like the front of the jersey is always more important than the back. It's that kind of mentality that we've carried with us in our generation where we grew up that I think is totally missing right now.
Are you satisfied, Smug?
No. I mean, dude, I think you have a great sentiment, and I wish it were something like that. But we need to start going after people like this. You know, there was this interesting discussion which has happened for like maybe a year now online of where it's like bring back bullying, you know, and I'm not talking about like the big kid on the playground beating up the little kid on the playground. I'm talking about how like it, quote, bullying used to act as kind of like an enforcement of societal norms. You know what I mean? Like if you had someone on the playground be like, guess what, gentlemen, I am now pansexual. And I believe that America should have a communist uprising, and we should burn the flag. There used to be a kid who'd give you like a little thump on the head and be like, that's a very stupid idea. And all that's gone.
Yeah.
All the guardrails for normalcy and patriotism and believing in this country are gone. And now essentially you're just congratulated for how far deviant and anti-American you can become. That's pretty much how the Democrats choose their candidates these days. Well, you sound like you hate America, but do you really? Like, let's really hear it. Let it loose. I want to see you pee, fuck ice. That's how we're going to get you up on a stage. That's how you're a hero. That's how you get attention these days. Nope. We got to punish it. It's not enough to be like,
I kind of agree.
We need to ensure there's good coaching to make sure that, you know, you have proper, you know, that you have respect for the flag. These people want to burn the flag and they want to kill us. I don't think telling them that that's a bad idea is going to be enough. I think you lock them up.
Well, there's
animals go in cages.
Jesus fuck. I mean, my God. I think there's a broader societal look at this whole thing that it concerns me. It starts with like not saying Pledge of Allegiance.
Yep.
In classrooms.
Yep.
Right. And like I've never lived a day under a Democratic president or a Republican president where I haven't been proud of my country.
Yep.
Right. It's never once made me, you know, I thought Obama, everybody talks about how Biden is the worst president in American history. Obama was way worse, in my view. I thought he was the worst president.
It was opening the gates to hating America.
I thought he was the worst president in the history, but never would have occurred to me to like not wear the stars and stripes because I'm an American. Like that, the politics of today doesn't dictate my pride of what America is. And the fact, and I think I can only attribute it to like upbringing, people I associate with, my parents, coaches, people around me, like instilling the values of what it means to be an American. And I just don't believe you could come to the conclusion that these athletes have come to and think that your personal politics about something who's been in the news for the last 10 days somehow supersedes your allegiance to this country.
Well, I think the answer to that is Smug is wrong in one way, and that is it's not that bullying went away, it's that there's only one side doing it.
It went the other side.
And that you've got these athletes with people in their ear. You have a platform now. You need to speak out and use your platform. Why aren't you speaking out and using your platform?
Dude, you're not wrong.
Do you stand with ICE murdering people? Don't you care? Why won't you speak up and use your voice? That's the thing that's happening.
But
You're not wrong.
Also, use my platform is a hilarious.
Yeah.
But that's what they say. You have an obligation.
Yep.
You have an obligation.
It's like
you have
you're
a platform.
You're
It's just
sitting
like
there.
in the Chinese Cultural Revolution, how they would have these like struggle sessions. That's where the term comes from.
Yeah.
Of where they like force you. It's not enough to be like, you're not going to stand in our way. You must recite the party slogans in public, or you'll be humiliated and bashed until you do. You're forced to. And that's what's happened. The left has 100% become, you've got to spit out the party slogans any opportunity you have. It's not enough to be like, I got nothing to say. You must say what we want you to say.
Yeah. Well, it's disappointing, but it's not even close to the strangest thing that we saw from the libs this week. We pay attention because it's sports, but wait till you hear what the rest of them are up to. I got to go back to Minnesota to do all of that, but I brought in some reinforcements at the end of the program. Pete Stauber,
Man, what a great guy.
congressman from Minnesota, he's going to help buck us up a little bit.
And
in
a
terms of
hockey
my home
legend.
state. Hockey legend in his own right after this.
I've worked at Coca-Cola for 21 years.
We're delivering Dr. Pepper from our brand new facility in Dallas, Texas.
We're really proud to still make Pepsi products in America.
You don't need a college degree to work here, but I put 4 kids through college by working here.
This is a great place to work with great people and great American brands.
Grocery stores, convenience stores, restaurants, they all depend on us.
We deliver great paying jobs.
We deliver beverages people love.
We deliver for our community.
Okay, so apparently there are still protests going on in Minnesota. I mean, Homan drops in; he gets every county in Minnesota to participate in this, prisoner situation. If you're detained, they give them over. Like everything seems to be working out. Doesn't stop the paid agitators, though. They're still out there, but they've developed somewhat of a new. Well, have a look. Clip one. They're throwing dildos at this truck.
Wait, but this is the guy who's on their side.
They're sticking dildos on his hood and his windshield.
I'm on your side. And they're confused. So, pro-ICE groups allege that they've been reporting anti-ICE vehicles. So this guy was in an anti-ICE vehicle, and you recall that part of this whole thing of them tracking down ICE agents is that they have this database that they're sharing amongst activists, where if you see the license plate of any vehicle associated with ICE, you immediately report it, and then you start blowing your whistles and throwing dildos. Evidently. We'll get to the dildo thing in a second.
As one does.
But this cat, apparently somebody who is a pro-ICE individual.
Or he's an anti-ICE.
Well, right.
But somebody who is pro-ICE shared the vehicle data of a guy
A little
who's
bit of dirty
anti-ICE.
tricks.
Okay.
So dirty tricks. And next thing you know, he's inundated with giant schlongs.
That's incredible.
Which is the video that you just saw. Can we talk just a second about how the dildos became a part of this situation?
I don't remember reading that in Saul Alinsky.
Again, I go back to just like the absolute degeneracy of the left, where it's just like it's not enough to hate America. You just have to be an absolute degenerate in all possible forms whatsoever. That's the unifying feature at this point.
Yeah.
Did you see? I don't think we have this available. If you can stitch it in, you should. Did you see the guy who was out protesting and who stuck the suction dildo in his own head?
I did not see that.
Did you see this?
I saw that.
I mean,
What?
also, this is a very Minnesota kind of a thing.
No, it's
Like
not.
people from there have a weird thing, have lots of weird things about them.
We don't-
I think this is the thing, and that's also why I think we should start considering no more migration out of Minnesota. The problem seems to stem from there.
Listen,
you got to
Minnesota-
keep the Minnesota
you know
people
nothing
there.
about Minnesota.
You need to lock them up.
Unexplored sexuality
Animals
is
go in
the coin of
cages.
the realm in Minnesota. We don't talk about it. We don't.
Well,
do it
clearly,
in
I mean,
public.
this is just footage from Minnesota. We all, we all saw with our eyes what happens there.
Bury it like
disgusting
all good
little place.
Norwegians. I mean, wild though, right?
Yeah.
I mean, geez, dildos. I don't know how that connects with ice and all of that, but well, it's entertaining nevertheless. The Bad Bunny thing. Mm-hmm. So the halftime show, a lot of other alternatives. TPUSA did their thing. Puppy Bowl, which, by the way, the puppy that was like disabled, you see that thing died?
No. Are you serious? There was a dog that died at the Puppy Bowl?
Well, right after.
Oh.
Yeah, they were running it around, and it was like kind of a feel-good story because it was on all kinds of things, and it was all mangled and looked terrible. Anyway,
I
too
didn't
much
know
for
it.
the old pup,
I didn't know it.
Yeah, but kind of a good story. He went out doing what he loves.
which is filming propaganda.
Dog propaganda.
Dog propaganda.
Well, I'm sure that was a glorious day for him.
Yeah, probably the best.
Out
If
in
you
a
look at
blaze.
him, he hadn't had a lot of good days. Anyway, he's out. But
That's insane.
Yeah, totally. They killed the dog.
Wait,
How's
they killed
that not
it
gotten-
or it died?
They said
They
it
shot the
died,
thing?
but I don't know.
It may have been one of these situations, when the animal's too far gone, and where the true merciful move
You talk about
is
old
to
Yeller?
send him to God.
You old Yellered him?
That's my guess, honestly. I don't know anything about the situation, but my best guess, is sometimes the real merciful
Somebody clip
play
that. Make the kid.
is sending him back to God.
He made the kid owner shoot him.
I mean, if the pup's having a hard time sometimes,
Well, it's the only humane thing to do. Anyway, Bad Bunny was trying to compete for market share and was pretty universally reviled in terms of I always dude, call me old fashioned. The Super Bowl is the most American thing of all time.
I mean, how do you not tune in to TPUSA and Kid Rock when your choices are Bad Bunny and Dead Puppy?
I think it's
Bad Bunny, Dead Puppy, Kid Rock. I think my choice is pretty clear.
Well, I feel like that's right, but they had to slip this bad boy in here. Graphic 2.
What's going on here?
Okay, so I noticed
Wait,
this.
is that from the halftime show or is this Wolf's personal?
No.
Just strafing.
It's a bit much. It's a bit much.
Wolf screen capped that and saved it for later. No, but they were doing crowd scenes or whatever, and then all of a sudden they get two dudes who are just grinding on each other.
Is this part of the act or are these people watching the Super Bowl?
No, this is they're watching the
the
halftime show. Yeah. And that's what they're. I don't feel like this graphic does it full justice because it was maybe a 1.5 second clip. But
It's
it was
described
right in the middle.
as a simulated sex act, but I'd like to take this opportunity to play a surprise card.
Wait,
I have a surprise for everyone here, especially for John Ashbrook.
Oh, God.
Could we get that surprise graphic? This is from the Washington Post, and they say, analysis. In general, Bad Bunny's Super Bowl halftime show had the kind of wholesome, traditional family values that would have fit right in with some of the more sentimental commercials that appeared during the game. So that is being described by Ashbrook's friends at the Washington Post as just clean family fun.
And they wonder
You know
why
what I mean?
they wonder why things have fallen apart.
Yeah. Well, you were defending them like hell last week, so I just wanted to make sure you were held accountable for that,
Thank
too.
you for holding me accountable, Smug.
Thank
Right
you,
here on
sir.
the
I'll have
show.
another.
We appreciate it.
We are so lucky.
So, for the people who watched it, you were sort of it was like you were waiting for the train wreck, like you just had to see it.
Wait, you watched it?
Yeah, I had to because
You
I
had to.
was basically
No, you were forced to.
no, I was waiting. I needed to see what everybody was going to talk about the next
Oh,
time.
that's a good way of putting it.
And-
And what everyone's talking about was Kid Rock performance, which was amazing.
Yeah,
The whole show was terrific.
yeah. No, I get
I mean,
it.
they were having millions and millions and millions of people tune
Well,
in.
if I wasn't in this line of work, I would have done just for my own pure entertainment. I would have done what you're suggesting, but because I like to provide value to millions of listeners,
I
on the
took
program.
over my buddy's Super Bowl party, and I was like, throw it on. we're not watching this. We're gonna watch the TPUSA halftime, and it was wonderful. Everyone was thrilled. Everyone enjoyed it.
So, but it turns out a lot of fans had a similar reaction to me. Look at clip 4 here. So this is the fan. You've got two people dancing. The rest of the crowd is this whole thing is going on. There's another third person dance. You have 50,000
That is
people
amazing.
in the shot.
I didn't see that video,
where everybody's like,
dude.
"Huh."
It's funny how when no one knows what is being said. They're completely still and puzzled. Like, who would have guessed? It's like, no one here knows what's being said.
Somebody said, too, that in the stadium, you couldn't actually see him. Like, he was walking in all these grass fields, and it was all for television.
Well, yeah.
And in the stadium, they were like, wait, what's going on?
That's the thing about Super Bowl halftime shows. If you're actually there in the stadium, you very quickly realize that none of this is for you. Like, the camera angles and everything make it look large, like a huge production.
Yeah.
But it's really not.
Yeah.
You know? And so you're kind of like half watching it because, like, the artists and all of the entertainers are more focused on, like, where the drone camera is and all of that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So, like, it doesn't even feel like they're really performing for you.
Well, I mean, in fairness, they're playing to 100 million people on their television set instead of the 50,000 that are in front of them. But
hey, though they paid a lot of money.
They sure did. Yeah. They sure did. But it's also been a long time. Other than the Snoop, Dr. Dre halftime, which I thought was fantastic.
That's all our generation got, and then they skipped right over.
Yeah,
us.
I just feel like it's been a long time since I've had one of those things that is felt like it's for me.
Do you know why that is? It's because Jay-Z and Rock Nation got that contract for like
that's what I
8
heard.
years
Is that true?
running. It's 100% true. Friend of the program, Alex Brucewitz, did a great breakdown of this. But for like 8 years now, they've had the contract with the NFL that Jay-Z essentially is handpicking every single one of these acts. And so it's been like, man, remember when it used to be like, we're going to have the Rolling Stones or like, you know, like
totally.
What is the biggest
like
band
Prince
in the world? Yeah. Show up.
It rained when he played Purple Rain.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
That was amazing.
Great.
Colts won that Super Bowl.
I mean, imagine having an act that like everyone can understand. Radical idea.
So how much longer does that contract last?
I think it's still got a few years left.
Let me
on it.
guess, every single one of the people that he recommends are on contract with his record label?
Oh, 100%.
Oh, weird.
I mean, it's fun getting a piece of the action when you're
Is that true, or are we doing allegedly here?
Well, we might have to do allegedly because it's Smug.
It's Smug. We don't know.
okay.
If you would have told me that, Duncan, I think
the
I
one
would have
conservative on the
believed
show, I'm always attacked for holding people accountable.
We'll look into it and report right back. So it leads to our question of the day. When you like and subscribe to the Ruthless Variety program, we read all of your comments and get back to the very next episode. Our question on this one is, that was probably the worst halftime show, at least from our perspective. Who had the best? There's a lot there. And like, you know, I mean, one of the best is not a Super Bowl, was the Creed Thanksgiving one. And I thought that the Vikes Lions, there was a Christmas one where they did an incredible halftime show. Snoop was the lead of that. I just love Snoop. But you know what I mean? Like, what's your favorite? You remember them all. Tell us, which one is your favorite halftime show of the last 25, 30 years? I think you got to go back a little ways. At least I did. Coming up, your comments from last episode. We asked the question is, with Kamala back on the scene, who is going to win the Democratic nomination? Your responses right after this. When you like and subscribe to the Ruthless Variety program, we read all of your comments on our question of the day. And this question was, who's going to win the Democratic nomination? Kamala, Gavin, somebody else. To do that, we always start with a voice.
Okay, first one comes from Chelsea Alexander. Chelsea writes, longtime listener, new subscriber here. Thanks for doing that, Chelsea. Felt compelled to join in on your Friday question. Kamala must really have some juicy dirt on the core Democrat establishment to keep them from muddling her like an old-fashioned cocktail.
Oh, that is a muddling.
Yeah.
For this reason, she gets the nomination. The real winner is J.D. Vance when only look at the current list of obvious contenders. There is perhaps a curveball. I really have my eye on a bipartisan ticket with Josh Shapiro and Spencer Cox.
Interesting.
Governor of Utah? Right?
Yeah, governor of Utah.
Yeah.
Governor of Pennsylvania, governor of Utah.
Interesting.
Generally speaking, those things don't work out.
The like split ticket.
And the Democrats, the Democrats don't strike me as a accommodating party now for anything that's center left.
They really don't, but it always makes for fun conversation.
It does.
It is true. Remember how Bloomberg got savaged?
Oh, yeah.
That was awesome.
It was awesome, actually. All right, comment 2, Doug's Runks.
This is from Rat Boyd. Rat Boyd writes, I think Kamala gets the nomination, and we finally get to see J.D. Vance destroy her in debates, which was denied us because Biden dropped out.
Yeah.
That is true. I would love to see J.D. just run circles around her.
That would have been fun to watch.
Yeah.
No question about it. All right, comment 3, Smug.
Comment 3 is from Judith Hamilton, and Judith writes, the question is whether the Dems will hold a true primary or just appoint someone to run. That's what they do.
Yeah.
That's what they've been doing lately.
It is.
I mean, they've been doing it longer, than people really think. I mean, the whole Hillary thing was wired from the beginning.
Yeah.
Totally.
They just robbed Bernie out of that whole thing.
Yep. Totally. Absolutely true. Great comments. When you like and subscribe, we read absolutely all of them. Get back to the very next episode. Thank you for those submissions. Just a variety thing or two here, fellas. There's a new combat sports league. We like to talk about.
You found this and it rules.
Yeah, it was like the, the hockey fighting thing where there was no hockey being played. They just fight. Mm-hmm. And this one struck me as kind of compatible to that, although perhaps much more dangerous. Can we play clip 8?
Oh my gosh! I don't like this.
You gotta get low.
Oh, you think so? That's the way?
You gotta get low. Low man wins.
So this was provided by Happy Punch.
Who could have
X.
guessed that Ashbrook's take is that Dem talker, when they go high, we go low? He can't stop.
It's
supporting
not
the left.
It's not a Dem talker, Smug.
Oh.
If you would
Did
like
you see?
to,
He went high. Did you see big guy just took him out? Going again.
Oh my god!
no, it's about leverage. It's about leverage. If you'd like to challenge me in
Leverage.
this, I'd be happy to show you how going low wins.
I don't beat up on senior citizens, for God's sake.
Oh man, so he's getting out of it. He doesn't want to try it. I will challenge you to this, Smug.
I'll play 100%.
Well, so this is it's a new sport, and it's being slammed as the dumbest sport, and doctors saying it should be banned. And this is according to an article. Is this a Daily Mail article? What is this? It's a packed.
He says Daily Mail
venue in Sydney. Watch countless brutal big hits on Saturday night.
Australia.
Despite ongoing concussion warnings about the events, the Run Nation Championship was
for our
held.
audio listeners, this is basically two huge dudes running as fast as possible, sprinting at each other to knock each other down.
It's just
full
like,
speed.
It's like the most Australian thing that I've ever seen.
It is. Because, you'd have Australian football, and they're like, we'll get rid of the ball, we'll get rid of the teams, and we'll give you what you want. It's just violence.
It's the Oklahoma drill without pads.
That's right.
I don't like this.
This is going to kill someone.
Well, I mean, it's human cockfighting.
Most wonderful endeavors do. Lives are always lives were lost. Getting a man on the moon. All the great things humanity accomplished. You got to crack a few eggs.
Lives were
lost.
You got to crack a few clavicles.
Think about this. It's wonderful. It's amazing. And the thing is that it's not like anyone's being forced to do this. These are two people,
two monsters,
running willingly.
As fast as they can straight into each other.
And it's the purest sport. It's the purest sport of all. You don't have to worry about, you get a dribbling or shooting.
I'm sure this is what everybody
No skill.
This is what everybody was saying in the Coliseum.
Yeah,
they like fighting the lions.
The purest sport because there's no skill.
We should bring back the Coliseum. It was a wonderful idea. People really love that kind of thing.
I would like to see them bring the animal kingdom into this.
Right.
And have a man versus a gigantic ram.
See, that I can get on board with.
That'd be cool. That'd be a great twist on it.
I can get on board with. Can someone take the ram horn to the chest and turn that thing back around? I would watch that.
And round after round, amping it up. You start with the billy goat, then they bring in the ram, and then they got a moose. You know what I mean? And the rhino. Can anyone take the rhino?
This is a psychotic segment.
Only Trump.
I'd pay top dollar. I swear, I'd pay top dollar.
Have you ever seen that thing on Instagram where the guy does the voiceover for the ram that's knocking down the fat people?
No, oh my God.
He's like, ram,
that's a sport?
Ram. Oh, God, you got to see.
I want to see that league.
I'm going to find that for all of our viewers at some point. But we have to get to our interview, which is fantastic. This is Congressman Pete Stauber. Well, I've been taking entirely too much shit about Minnesota lately. So I need to bring in reinforcements. And when you're talking about Minnesota, the old Stauber family is one of those sort of stalwart, tough hockey guys that you just have to bring in. So now, Congressman Pete Stauber, how are you, sir?
I got your back.
Take him out, Pete. Let's go. We got to get these guys. Listen, before we get into all the unpleasantness, which is surrounding your entire state. I do want to talk about this recently signed Congressional Gold Medal Act with the 1980 Miracle on Ice team. You grew up, I grew up. This is like, there are Hall of Fame things, and then there is like the ultimate. This is the crew that basically guided much of our childhood.
Absolutely. No.
So tell me about all
Well, the 1980 Olympic team, I mean, those were heroes to us growing up playing hockey in Minnesota. And so this past December 12th, we put forward the Congressional Gold Medal Act for that team. And that's the highest honor a country can give an individual or a team. And our office led it. Senator Kramer from North Dakota led it in the Senate.
Good
and
guy.
it was something. That was on December 12th. That was a Friday. And I came back from votes at 9 a.m. At about 9:30, I'm in my office, and there's my heroes, drinking coffee, having donuts, excited for the day. And I mean, to see Jack O'Callahan and Neil Broughton, Ken Morrow, Janicek, Aruzioni, Jim Craig. I mean, all those folks, it was unbelievable. And then 12 of them were from Minnesota, right?
Yeah, totally.
And so we had
Herbie Brooks insisted upon it.
That's right. That's right. 12 of them, and then you had one of the equipment managers, and of course, Coach Brooks and his son Dan was there, and we had. It was just such a day for me to be in the presence of these hockey heroes that I grew up. I always wanted to be. I knew I had to get to at least 5'9" because that was Neil Broughton, right? If Neil Broughton can play in the NHL college, so can I. Once I hit 5'9", I was good.
It's so good.
Yeah.
I love it. I mean, they did grow up as heroes, but your family. I mean, I remember growing up watching your brother Robbie. Goalie for the Gophers. And you had an incredible collegiate career. That's part of the fabric of Minnesota.
Playing hockey, you're right. Coming from Minnesota, playing hockey at the highest level, I mean, it's when you strive for it. For me, it was, I wanted to play Division I hockey, and was able to earn an athletic scholarship to Lake Superior State University, small school in upstate. You
guys made some noise though.
We won the national championship in '88. But so my brother Robbie played at Minnesota, first goalie to win the Hobie Baker Award. Then he went on to play with Los Angeles with Gretzky, and then Buffalo. And my brother Danny played in Boris, Sweden. So we grew up loving the game of hockey, playing hockey all the time, and it was something that I take what I learned in hockey. Every single day in Congress now. You get beat up for all these things, but you just focus on doing what's right. Focus on getting that piece of legislation across.
Team
People
sport.
are hacking and slashing, and just get that piece of legislation across the finish line for your constituents in the country. So,
yeah, we talk about that a lot.
So we talked a little bit before we got in here about something you're doing to that effect right now with the CRA, and everything that's going to do to impact your district up there in the Iron Range. So you can tell us a little bit about that.
So we have a lot of unfinished business. When we talk about energy independence, we also need to talk about critical mineral dominance. And mining is a big reason, I'm in Congress. For your viewers, I'm 8th District of Minnesota, Northeast Minnesota. We've been mining iron ore that makes 80% of this nation's steel, right? We know how to do it, and all of a sudden we have this critical mineral find. It's called the Duluth Complex. Biggest untapped copper and nickel find in the entire world. And so that we're pushing to make sure we mine responsibly, and we're going to do it. We can do it in Minnesota. And of course, Joe Biden was the most anti-mining president in the history of this country. He took 225,000 acres off the ability to harness that, and so that CRA it reverses that withdrawal, so it allows companies to compete for to be able to mine and
American resources. How about that?
That's exactly right. I mean, we shouldn't follow China anywhere, right?
Right.
And we're doing that right now. So we can mine here, we can manufacture here, we can process here, and we can refine here. We have to have the political will to do it, and that's a high priority of mine in the natural resources space. So we have some unfinished business, and we're pushing the mining as hard as we can.
Johnny?
Yeah, you come from a great Minnesota family, and you and your wife have built another great Minnesota family. I think you get 6 kids. Is that right?
Yeah.
I've read 6 kids.
Yeah.
And one of them has Down syndrome.
Yeah.
And that is near and dear to my heart. I got a daughter with Down syndrome, and your son Isaac with Down syndrome. I think he's 21 years old. Am I right about that?
Yeah, he's a little older, 23.
23,
Yeah.
okay. And I just wonder if you could tell everybody just what an absolute blessing it is to have a child with that sort of disability that it doesn't even cross your mind when you first learn the news.
Yeah, no, I mean, both you and I are blessed. We were chosen to raise these special children, and so my wife and I mean, Isaac came out unexpected, right? And I remember when Isaac was born, the whole room went silent, and my wife said, "What happened? Is he? What happened? What's going on?" And so they had a tough time telling us that we just got Down syndrome. Well, we didn't care. He was our son. It doesn't matter. He's one of the 6 kids that give us grief all the time, although he's the best kid we got.
Yeah.
Am I right? Your daughter, right?
That's exactly right.
It's the best kid we have.
Their life-giving.
Yeah, they'll fight with their siblings, and it's just a wonderful, absolute wonderful blessing to be chosen by God to be able to raise a special child. Of course, my other 5 children are special too, right? But this one is just a unique gift from God that we cherish every single day. And I know you and your wife do. I mean, it's your daughter, just the most beautiful thing in the world. And so it's not their disability, it's their ability that we're working on. And they bring sunshine to every day, every event, and our family. So thanks for bringing that up. I mean, that's very near and dear to us, and I appreciate that.
Yeah. No, that's great. So a less comfortable topic is what's happening in Minnesota with administration, with ICE, with Governor Walz, which, I've said on this program for like the last 3 weeks, I don't recognize what's going on here. I mean, we had when I was growing up, we had Democrat governors, you had some Republican governors, but like basically sanity was a part of the equation. This seems to me from the outside looking in, and you live it every day and talk to your constituents, to be complete madness.
Yeah. If I could be frank, Minnesotans are pissed with the fraud that's going on. We are hardworking people, go to work every day, and then we see this happening under this administration. And it's hundreds of billions of dollars that are happening. We saw one stat, $30 billion. And then they just look the other way. Not now. We're going to get down to the bottom of it. They want accountability. They want people that did this fraud on the taxpayers to serve time. They want to make sure that they're held accountable. It's ridiculous. I mean, our great state of Minnesota, and it's the fraud capital. It's unbelievable. And Walz knew about it. The whistleblowers are coming out. Walz knew about it, and that's why he's not running again. I mean, in my opinion, that's why he's out. He knew that the gig was up, the fraud that was happening. He was complicit in my mind, or he's incompetent. One of the two, right? You can't have that amount of fraud. Not even holding people accountable or having things in place to protect the taxpayer and let it go like that. And it's been going on for a while. Again, I say to people, I said, don't let Minneapolis dictate the rest of our great state. We are very, very frustrated in greater Minnesota on what's happening in Minneapolis and the fraud.
The politics have changed, right? I mean, when I grew up in Minnesota, your neck of the woods was as blue as it could possibly be. Iron Range, heavy union worker, old school DFL, Democrat, farmer, labor. They since abandoned that wholesale. And now they have this just sort of pocket around the urban epicenter that they're holding on to. And the rest of the state is generally pretty red. Is this obvious fraud, mistrust, like complete deception on the American taxpayer, the Minnesota taxpayer? Is that going to fundamentally change Minnesota, you think, or at least give us the opportunity to change from one of the most reliably blue states to something that's going to be competitive here?
If we get rid of the fraud, including the voter rolls, Minnesota's going to flip red.
So do you, let me make sure I understand what you're talking about. What Walz, because we've contended this here, so I'm not putting words in your mouth, but the fraud and the voter rolls and what they've done there is deliberate. It is about maintaining power for a Democratic establishment in Minnesota. Do you believe that?
My Minnesota Voter Integrity Act says, okay, the state of Minnesota, show your voter rolls to the Department of Justice.
Yeah.
We want them accurate. We don't want any fraud in our voting elections, right? We're seeing it and feeding our future, the Medicaid, the Social Security, the daycare fraud, you name it. So it's reasonable to conclude that there's fraud in all areas. I mean, our governor won't even, or our Secretary of State won't even give up the voting rolls, and
why?
And
right?
and the snap rolls. Secretary Rollins wants to see the snap rolls. What are you hiding? Why don't you allow the federal government to take a look at it to assure every Minnesotan everything's good? There is no fraud. I believe that when they're going to find it, they're going to look into the snap rolls and the voter rolls. They're going to see some discrepancies that are going to even make Minnesotans more upset.
How does that work exactly? So is it, do you withhold SNAP funds from the federal government in order to compel? How exactly do you get to this information? Because, look, we've talked a lot about Minnesota, but I have to imagine this problem is everywhere in the country. What else can Congress do to compel these states to investigate things that a lot of these Democratic jurisdictions do not want to investigate?
That's right. That's right. So I think that the money isn't going to come to support the elections from the federal government if you don't comply with the request. And the SNAP benefits, it's going to harm our low-income people in the state of Minnesota who are on SNAP if they don't show us the SNAP rolls. And they're being punished.
Yeah.
The people that truly need it are being punished because we have a lack of leadership by Governor Walz. We've tried to send them back to Nebraska. They won't take them.
We get a lot of runoff from Nebraska, I feel like. But look, I get this argument because this is a difficult thing. You have to try to compel them to provide the evidence of their own fraud, which they're unwilling to do. But to compel them honestly makes vulnerable people more vulnerable, and they just tag you on that. I mean, good God, the Minnesota media has been so asleep at the switch and complicit with all of this.
The Red Star?
Yeah, Red Star, the old Star Tribune. But I mean, that's a challenge.
Well, look at the whistleblowers.
Yeah.
Predominantly Department of Health and Human Services workers, and predominantly they vote Democrat. Not all of them, but okay. Right. This is a group of both the Democrat and Republican workers that said, we've had enough. Yeah. And they're being bullied. They're being walked out of their jobs when they bring it up. And then you look at the people that truly need it, the people that truly need the daycare or the Medicaid or the SNAP benefits, and the taxpayers are being ripped off. And again, I'm talking to people all across our state that are furious that this is going on, and they're even more furious that the governor won't comply and the Secretary of State won't give the voter rolls.
So what do you do to sort of serve as a catalyst for action on this? Because honestly, I am dubious that they're ever going to turn over anything. I just don't. They would rather hurt their citizens. They've proven that over and over again than actually be found to be complicit or maybe culpable for fraud. So political change is necessary. And obviously we've seen, there's candidates that are running for stuff. I mean, I think I was on the last statewide some 20 some odd years ago that won in Minnesota. How do we go about, as a Republican Party in Minnesota, harnessing that angst and ensuring that we have a political change? Because that's been the biggest trick, the hardest thing to figure out over the last 15, 20 years.
This is the voter fraud, and those concerns are bipartisan concern, right? Okay. I truly believe that everybody wants free and fair elections, and only those that are eligible to vote. But what you have, I think, an internal network that is so deep right now. It's going to take a change of leadership. And one of the first steps is the Department of Health and Human Services, the whistleblowers. Those whistleblowers, they put their careers on the line to do this.
Yeah.
and to see the amount of fraud going on, and of course the sanctuary states and cities that Walz supports. I mean, he came to Washington, D.C. here and testified in Congress, spent $240,000 of Minnesota taxpayers to prepare for a hearing in support of sanctuary cities and sanctuary states. I mean, think about it.
It's wild.
And look at what's happening with the in Minneapolis. I'm a former cop in Duluth, Minnesota. When you work with the,
I didn't know that either.
Did you have a mustache?
No, I didn't. Actually, my department, we couldn't wear it. We couldn't wear one.
Duluth is going real clean cut.
Yeah. No, I didn't have a mustache, but I spent 23 years as a cop. And when you're a police officer, when you work with the state and the federal agencies, the investigations, everything works better when you cooperate and share information. Yeah. And that's not what's happening as of late. However, since Border Czar Tom Homan's been up there, there's been what he calls unprecedented cooperation, even going in the jails. I mean, he said, we just need one agent to go into the Sally Port in the jail, take him or her, and move on. If you let them out in the streets, it could take a lot more agents. Yeah. So that's why he's being willing to draw down. The jails are starting to give that information.
Do you think he had the right approach on that? It seems to me. I mean, we've talked about this a lot, and Smash, you've been involved and actually talked to Holman a couple of weeks ago about this, but it seems to me that law enforcement mentality when it comes to this problem has worked itself out.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. So we interviewed him on the show, and he talked about how dangerous some of these sanctuary states and cities are because the bad guys know that's where they can go to do everything in secret and get away with it.
Yeah.
And one of the things that he said it was about his approach. We talked about how, where in the world – where was it that Democrats all of a sudden decided they didn't care about border security? Because, we've all been in this line of work long enough to remember when they made speeches saying, no, we're better at protecting the border than Republicans. And it was very interesting to hear his point of view because the guy's a career law enforcement officer. He's been doing this job in one way or another since the early 80s. So it's interesting to hear your point of view as a former cop. And it's like he speaks a language that local cops understand. You know, if you go in, guns blazing, I know how to do everything. You don't know what you're doing. It's
a feds versus local.
Right. There's a reticence to. They're like, wait a minute, what are you doing? But he goes in and seems to understand how to interact with these local officials. And from what I understand from the White House, they're getting cooperation almost in every single county in Minnesota where they didn't before he went in.
The gold standard in law enforcement is voluntary compliance. That's the gold standard. That's what you want. Nobody gets hurt. Officer doesn't get hurt. The suspect doesn't get hurt, nor do any bystanders. Voluntary compliance. That's what you want. But when you have a governor and his administration calling the federal agents the Gestapo and Nazis, they rile them up. And you see the assaults on law enforcement. It's wrong. I mean, you should not. Law enforcement is there to perform and remove violent illegals. That's what Congress has asked them to do. That's what we've asked them to do.
And it's a law that's been on the books for quite some time.
That's right. I mean, they did it under President Obama.
Right.
They did the exact same thing under President Obama, and you didn't hear people. By the way, when there's 13, 14, 15 million people coming into this country illegally, wide open southern border. By the way, I was down there more than the borders are. Kamala Harris was.
Did she make it? I don't even know if she made it.
She went down there for a photo op during the campaign.
It's like a good 15 miles away.
Yeah. So I would just say I saw in a bipartisan fashion, I don't care if it was a Republican mayor or a Democrat mayor, they say stop the open border. We can't handle this. It's overloading our hospitals, our social service system, our schools. And so they've had enough. And I didn't see my colleagues on the other side of the aisle saying, we need to stop it. I mean, we need to stop it. It took President Trump, and he promised the American people that he would do it. Our border is more secure now than ever in the history of this country. And Tom Homan also understands we have a northern border, and he's working on that too.
Yeah,
because,
important.
part of my district goes into Ontario or connects with Ontario.
Good fishing up there, though.
It's great fishing. It's great fishing. Like the walleye I showed you.
Yeah.
We got great fishing in Minnesota, too.
You do.
You get it on some good lakes in Minnesota. You got the walleye, fresh walleye. How many places in this country can you leave work, get in your boat, catch your limit of walleyes, have fresh walleye for dinner, and then go to bed? Not many places.
What a dream.
Not a lady is a dream.
You know?
Yeah, you're singing Smash's tune right there. That is the dream. So, all right. So we do 3 quick questions for everybody that comes on for the first time. Last meal on Earth.
Last meal on Earth?
If you can plan it, what would it be? It's got to be walleye, right?
You know what? It'd have to be just a Sammy's pizza. You know Sammy's pizza?
Oh, yeah.
Pepperoni, green peppers, onions, tomatoes. Sammy's pizza.
I didn't see you going that route, but that's a good order. That's good.
Family size.
Yeah, they're right.
So look, hockey star, cop, congressman, you had a lot of experiences. With the benefit of retrospect, there's probably 1 or 2 things that you were super interested in, you think you could have done, didn't have the time because you're doing all this other stuff. If you look back on your entire life, what do you think it would be?
It's interesting. It's a great question. And I say this in jest. I wished that I would have studied harder for my ACT test.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to cut that and send it to my kids.
As it was, things worked out, right? Because when I was in high school, I just wanted to get through with that test and get to lunch, right?
Yeah.
Little did I realize that was an entrance or part of the entrance exam into schools and stuff. So
Yeah.
Turns out they care about like learning and stuff. Like, I don't know.
That's so
This guy was a hell of a hockey player. He could get through with a lot of that. That's really good. All right, so last question. Our view is that almost every successful person at some level is motivated by the thrill of victory or the agony of defeat. And it's
Jim
not,
McKay,
Yeah.
ABC
Yeah.
Wide World of Sports.
the way he presented it was like thrill of victory, you win, agony of defeat, you lose. Our view is the motivation is the key component about what takes the next step in your life. Like, what is the motivation that you use to do that extra thing? And if you're a successful person, you have to be motivated by something. Like the thrill of victory person is usually like a Phil Mickelson type or somebody who just thinks they can do it. It may not be the smart play, but they just think they can do it. Agony of defeat is typified by Michael Jordan. He had to invent slights against him in order to take his game to the next level and work that much harder. Where do you think you find yourself on this spectrum?
I'll just give you the hockey analogy. I wasn't that good.
That's nonsense, by the way.
No, listen. But
the only lie he's told.
Right.
But I worked harder than anybody because I had to make, for the lack of talent, I had to make it up with my strength and my speed because the hockey, it didn't come to me as easy as some of the great players, right? I mean, they can play the game in their head. And for me, it was hard work. If we had to do 15 sprints, I did 17 because the guy behind me, I didn't want him to take my position. I wanted to make the team. Even as a
feels agony.
Yeah. Even as a captain on a national championship team, I was still every practice. Every single practice. In my mind, somebody wanted to take my spot, and you have to do that. And it's transferred into Congress. I still knock on doors. People said, "What do you do knocking on doors?" I want to face to face. I'm asking for your vote. Mm-hmm. You trust me with that vote. I'm going to ask you personally. And hard work is always the equalizer. The only time success comes before sweat is in the dictionary, and that's kind of my motto.
He's an agony guy.
Yeah.
Right.
Our kind of fella.
He's our kind of fella. There's a 50-50 split, but like you've got 3
two
agony.
Minnesotans, we could take on anybody.
Minnesotans over-index on agony, by the way. I mean, our Vikes.
I think it's a Midwestern thing.
I think it is.
Yeah, but here's the thing: you have.
I think you're right.
You have the Wild. They're surging right now with the trade with Quinn Hughes.
Incredible.
I mean, I'm a Minnesota sports fan, and you see the Wild. They're winning these close games, and I want to be going down to the we used to call it the XL, but now it's a Grand Casino Arena. I want to go down there on a playoff game. There's nothing better than that atmosphere down in St. Paul, Minnesota. Right?
Yeah.
Walking across 7th Street.
Remember going to the old Civic Center with the clear boards?
Yeah.
With the state tournament?
Yep.
What a delight.
And Hughes is on the Olympic team.
Yep,
he one of the two on the Wild that are on the team. Have you talked to anybody on that Olympic team? Because they're starting up here later this week.
No, but here's a question for you. Here's a trivia question. You give me the question, right? In 2018 in Pyeongchang, who was the women's Olympic hockey coach, the gold medal coach?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
You don't know? My younger brother, Rob.
No, are you kidding?
Really?
Get out of here.
Yeah, he was a gold medal.
Wait, he should have done a couple more victory laps on that deal. That was a hell of a team.
He did, and well, on December 12th, when we brought the 80 Olympic team to the White House, my younger brother Rob was my guest.
Oh, that's awesome!
Come to the White House.
That's awesome.
Cool. Yeah, so there's
hell of a goalie.
He's the biggest, most fiercest competitor that I've ever played against.
Yeah, I believe that. I believe that. Watched him a lot growing up. Last prediction on this hockey team, Team USA, just getting started here. Gold?
They're going to be in the gold medal game.
Yes.
They're going to be in the gold medal game, and it's going to be a great game.
Canada?
What's that?
Team USA and Canada?
Yeah,
gold
I think
medal
so.
game?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think I agree.
And listen, I mean, any hockey game at that level is the best of the best.
Yeah.
It's going to be a great game to watch. That's my hope.
I love it. I love it. Pete Stauber, thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate it.
Thank you very much. It's been my pleasure.
You always love having a guy like that in who has such a variety in background with hockey. He was a cop, you know, now in Congress, big family. I mean, he is, everything that you've always described about northern Minnesota.
Yeah.
This guy is it.
Yeah, no, he is it. And he's a smart guy and he's doing a lot of good work. And I'm happy we've got him there because, this is kind of one of the reasons we wanted to have him on is what I was saying to you a couple of times is like you would get the impression based on the news cycle over the last month that Minnesota sort of monolithically lost their fucking minds. Mm-hmm. And like guys like Pete those are the people I grew up with. And so we just needed.
Well, and also like kind of quite the opposite, really, when you think about it. I mean, as you said in the interview, Holmes, that used to be blue area. They used to be union households. They used to vote for the Democratic Party. This is a real change, change during the Trump era is places like the Iron Range going red.
Yep.
And like people like Pete, who obviously match the district, know these people are critical to that coalition and selling that.
Totally. I bet he can hockey fight like a motherfucker still. Don't you think?
Oh,
those
without a
Stauber
doubt.
boys, you didn't want to mess with them back in the day. Listen, appreciate Pete Stauber. A fantastic show. Our question of the day, Bad Bunny might have been the worst halftime show. What do you remember as the best or your favorite halftime show? Like and subscribe. We read all of your comments and get back to the very next episode. With that, fellas, I think we did it.
I think so. Absolute banger of an episode, gentlemen. Thank you so much, Congressman Stauber, and thank you to the listeners. Remember, if you have not yet, go to the YouTube and hit that subscribe because it's more fun in video. So until next time, minions, keep the faith, hold the line, and own the libs. We'll see you on Thursday. Stay ruthless.